All right, I'm out here. I'm in California. It's beautiful here out by the ocean. Ocean sort of seems to heal the heart. Just like feel the vastness of it. Just sort of eternal. Sort of feel a strong connection to the ocean. And I can just like feel the energy emanating off of it. But yeah, planning to come out here and live in California. A friend and I are, taking care of a sister. We're going to be living in her home. We're going to, sort of do what we can for her. She's 85. She's in the hospital. She can be quite a challenge to deal with. She's a very willful woman. It's very, it's very much about her. And, I don't really resent that. But it is like, it does take a lot of energy for me to be around like people who are very selfish and that aren't considerate about sort of like what I want or interested in what I want or need. It's just sort of like all about them and what they want. But in some ways that has its charm, because at least you sort of know what to expect from them. You can expect selfish people to be selfish, and there's not going to be many surprises other than they will try to sort of wheedle their way. You know, any sort of opening that you give them, they will abuse that. So anyhow, I don't really want to talk too negatively about her. She has her charm, but it is definitely my patience does get affected by it. But on the other hand, I am very grateful to be moving out here and out of Iowa. Iowa was the place that I ended up with my father, who brought me there many years ago. Um, after my mother passed away, I ended up living with him. He was a very selfish person himself, and I was always sort of walking on eggshells with him. Sort of isolated me from the rest of my family, and I sort of had to sort of live in constant terror of him and his bad moods, constantly flipping out on me over like the most trivial things. Wouldn't really allow me to be a human being. I sort of learned to have a flat affect on my face, because whenever he like sensed that I had any like emotions whatsoever, he sort of would attack me. And so I learned to try to, as much as I could, play my feelings close to the chest with him and not reveal what my feelings were, because he just was not interested. So that was really difficult. Spent a lot of time at my sort of my friends' houses to get away from him, because he was such a taxing person on my self-esteem, and just like he would just leave me totally like emotionally mutilated. And I would just felt like a train hit me, and I just go to bed feeling completely just nervous, anxious, hyper vigilant. Couldn't fathom like why a person is so fucking cruel. But somehow I survived it, I guess. I don't know, part of me didn't really make it. Part of me is left somewhere dead out there, I don't know. At least it feels like that. And, now there's so many things. There's so much more that I wanted out of life. But circumstances have always been sort of that I had to be very careful and sort of yield to, the others around me, because I didn't really, when I was about 18 years old, I didn't really know what to do. I couldn't really function like most people, because I was just my nerves were just like completely shot. I had extremely high blood pressure for my age, and it was just like in constant anxiety. And I couldn't fall asleep at night. I was just afraid of everything. I couldn't talk to people anymore. Not I mean, I could, but not honestly. Couldn't, because like the violent like turmoil that was going on inside of me was just fucking wreaking havoc on my soul. And it's very difficult for me to make small talk when like inside of me I'm just like fucking dying, dude. Yeah, and it's just, I mean, there's things, my life is better now, but every once in a while things come up and it just stirs stuff up inside of me, and I'm just like I'm just fucking just like a fucking person trying to hold on to the the mast of the ship while the storm is just fucking wreaking havoc on my soul. And it's just brutal. It's like, who the fuck am I in this world? Why the fuck do I have to do this? Why do I have to have this? Why do I have to have why do I have to have this experience? And it's like, when that violent storm comes, I don't always know when. Sometimes, it comes and it goes. Some days I feel amazing and everything's okay, and then something like something comes and it's like, oh shit, fuck, when is this gonna be over? When are these like violent waves going to subside again? When am I gonna be able to be at peace? When am I gonna be able to like go to sleep again and like have a good night's rest? And then it's, on the other hand, then there's the things that I want out of life, and it just feels weird to even want anything after all of this, because everything just feels so fucking empty and hollow after you've just been fucking reamed in the ass by life. And it's just like, oh my god, I don't even know if I want anything at all. I just wish I could just fucking go to sleep and not wake up. But I don't want to do that. I want to be brave, continue to live, even if I have to endure the flames of hell every now and then. I don't blame anyone for what my feelings are. They are simply what they are, and I'm the one who has them. So it's no one's fault. I mean, it is. I mean, there's some people that I could point my finger and say, you might have something to do with this, but in general, I try to not blame anyone anymore, because it's like, mean, yeah, it is good to talk honestly about, the people that inflicted violence against us and, shit on our self-esteem. I'm not saying you can't speak the truth and the facts about, what happened, but at the same time, it's like, I don't really want to keep dwelling on that shit, I don't want to hold people in my life nowadays responsible for what I feel, because I feel like that's giving my power away. It's like, yeah, I have intense emotions that I have to deal with, but on the other side of those emotions are essentially my desires, what I want out of life. And it's not like a super crystal clear image. I try not to, be super, fixated on a certain outcome in life, but I do try to listen to my heart, and I try to like be as courageous and move in that direction, the direction that seems to be calling to me, and regardless of like, the the fear, the anxiety associated with that, because I know that like that is mostly my trauma, and I don't really want my trauma to hold me hostage forever. I want to move forward, and I want to have experiences, and I want to like look back in my life and say, I did things and I met people that I love, and I had loving relationships, and I wasn't just fucking hiding under a blanket like a scared person. But I do sometimes wish I could just hide under a fucking blanket and never like come out again. But yeah, so I don't know. Try to keep an open mind about the people that I meet. I'm pretty good at being friendly and stuff. And the people out here in California is so much nicer than in fucking Iowa. Iowa's a fucking shithole, dude. I don't know, just like, it's not a happy place for me. I don't know. Some people may like it there. I don't really love the people there. Out here, these people seem much more like they're cut from a similar cloth as I am, or at least not completely alien. More creative, sort of talented kind of people out here. More, I don't know, more spiritual in the way that I consider myself to be spiritual, not, weird, religious, creepy, fundamentalism. I don't know, that has nothing to do with God or, anything. It's just about, sort of religious fascism. But yeah, because, like, what your relationship with God is, it's sort of like, that's between you and God, like, you shouldn't have religion trying to like use religion to impose your will on other people. It's fucking stupid. It's so counter to what God, wants. God wants us to be happy. He wants us to fulfill desires. He wants us to be brave. And, he wants, essentially he wants us to feel good about ourselves and, help each other and, be strong and live meaningful lives, create meaningful communities. And yeah, and it's not, if someone's working, you don't have to tolerate everyone, obviously, but because some people are just fucking toxic and you got to get rid of them. But yeah, so minimally judge other people, I would say. I mean, isn't that it's so fucking weird? Like Christianity is it's like it's so obvious that Jesus' like message was like stop being a fucking dick to everyone. And what do Christians like do? They're fucking brutal, brutal, brutal fucking like little crazy finger wagging assholes most of the time. I think a lot of I'm sure there's a lot of Christians out there that are actually like fucking good people, but the ones that I've met so far are fucking far from that and tend to be obnoxious, finger wagging, fucking weirdos. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just enjoying the weather. I'm gonna be out here. Probably gonna go back to Iowa because we gotta sell some shit, get rid of some things, close up some accounts, and then I'm gonna be moving out here permanently, and never, never gonna look back. Fucking if all goes well, fuck if I end up getting stuck out in Iowa, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. But it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like we're gonna end up out here. It's gonna be pretty damn good. And hopefully my friend's sister won't drive us fucking crazy. But we'll do the best we can. But so I hope the audio actually recorded for this video because it's pretty windy out here. So I don't know. Even with this little like bunny looking thing, it's probably still some wind probably would still come through. But anyhow, yeah, I'll just I guess this is some of the shit that came out of my mouth today. Hopefully. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Yeah. Have a good one, guys. See ya.